Patience? Lord have mercy. Well, now, what's happening with it? How you? How your mom and them? Let's get it. Today we're going to talk about patience. That's a rough word for me, I promise you. But anyway, we're going to get into it. So, patience is something that I don't have. I don't like to speak it, but it is what it is. I'm working on it. At my big age, I'm still trying to have it. But I want what I want when I want it. Period. And I fight myself with that all the time because I know I can't have what I want when I want it all the time. But guess what I do? I still go through the motion and the stress and all of that of it. Anyway, a lot of people ask God, why, Lord, why are you doing this to me? Or why you know what I'm saying, when they going through stuff like that. Most of the stuff that we go through, that's hard for us, in my opinion. In most cases, it might be something that we need to either learn in that process or learn how to deal with in that process, or whatever the case is. But we got to go through it. And we going to go through it until we get to it. The lesson being it. We going to go through it until we get the lesson in it. Till we learn a lesson in it. And God doesn't do that. He don't put us through those things. Well, he allow us to go through it. Let me just say that. He don't do it to us, but he'll allow it to happen to us because there's a bigger picture that we need to see. There's something that we need to learn in it. And just in general, sometimes we just need to learn how to be patient and allow God to do what he's doing and make everything work out. That don't mean it's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month or next year or in the next 5 years. But the Bible says that God knows the plans that he has for us. And those plans are to prosper us and not harm us. Right? But those plans are to prosper us even as our souls prosper. So sometimes the things that we go through are preparing us for maybe the next level in life, or maybe even to be a testimony, or have a testimony to share with somebody else that's going through it. You know what I'm saying? That's why can't nobody tell you nothing unless they've been there. You know that. I mean, don't come telling me the grass greener over there if you ain't never been over there. Don't come telling me how to deal with addiction if you ain't never been addicted. Don't come telling me, you feel me? All of that, because people will do that. But not to get off topic, like I said, some of the things that we go through are to teach us lessons and to build us up for something bigger that might be coming. You know what I mean? And if we're impatient, like I am, and that's why I'm able to speak on it, because I know it firsthand. I don't like to wait for nothing. I know I have to. And even when I'm mad and griping and grumpy and all of that other shit, I'm cussing and fussing, guess what I still gotta do? Wait. So, I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But to go back to the question of, God, why are you doing this to me? And I don't ask that question because I know better. I may have when I was younger. But again, God doesn't, he don't do that. He'll allow it to happen to get you to a certain point. And I don't want to keep being repetitive, but that's usually what it's for. It's for you to learn something. And I have these conversations with myself all the time. Yeah, I know, Lord. and I'm not having them nicely. I promise you. I'm cussing and fussing, and next thing pop in my head, and I start talking to myself. Yeah, I know, Lord. I know, and I'm mad. I'm not just submitting. I'm mad. Yeah, I know, Lord. I'm gonna keep going through it till I learn it. I know that's the reality of it. That's just reality, because if every time something happens to me, I get shook, if there's a situation that I need to learn how to handle it better, until I get that, I'm going to keep being in those situations. I used to pray for patience a long time ago, and I stopped praying for patience a long time ago. And that's the main reason why. Because if you pray for patience, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, everybody should, but when you pray for patience, you're going to have to go through something to get patience. Trust me when I tell you, God don't just give it to you like that. You want patience? All right, I'll give you some. Now you got all of this stuff happening to you back to back to back. Everything around you just seems like it's always a fight. And the people that know me, mainly my wife, that's like it's not my favorite, but that's one of my main used phrases. I knew this was going to happen. Why this got to be? Why that got to be? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and there's another one. What I always say. I can't remember. But anyway, that's the gist of it. Well, yeah, you do know it's going to happen. Because guess what? Your ass ain't learned last time. Your ass ain't learned last time. So here we go again. You know what I'm saying? And until you can deal with that situation better, have some patience in that situation, and not let it rattle you and shake you like that, you're just going to have to keep going through it. And so that's why I say I don't pray for patience anymore. But whether I pray for it or not, I prayed for it before. And maybe that's where all of this is coming from. That's the answer to those prayers way back when. I'm just saying. But quick side note. My mother is one of the most patient people I know. My mother has like this unshakable faith that I know. I'm just saying, people that I know. And I know some people with faith, but my mother, she actually, let me make sure that this, I think it's all on the same, but she prayed to be a testimony. I was talking about testimonies earlier, and why sometimes God will allow us to go through things in order to be a testimony to other people. So it all ties in. But anyway, she prayed to be a testimony. And we talked about it after her situation, and I'll tell you her situation. But she prayed, years ago she prayed to be a testimony and all of that type of stuff. In 2007, 8, or 9, one of them, she got real sick. And we were moving back to California, me and my family, and I had already sent my family back. And she got real sick, and I remember it was Thanksgiving, because my brother had Thanksgiving at his house, and I was staying at my mother's house until I went back to California with my family, but they were already gone. So she got real sick. She wouldn't go to the hospital right away, and she worked at the hospital. But anyway, she wouldn't go right away, so she said, if I still feel the same way, I'll go tomorrow or tonight or whatever. Go by your brother, and if I still feel that bad, I'll let you take me anyway. Took her to the hospital. She went there. They kept her overnight. Then she called me to come and get her, and I came and got her. But little did I know I was coming to get her, to bring her home, to bring her back. Long story short, she ended up having was it leukemia? It was cancer. Was it leukemia? I think it was leukemia. Yeah, but it was cancer. Let's just say that. And when I tell you shook, I was shook. But my mama, she was so calm. She was so everything. She really just wanted to come home to tell us what was going on, and then she had to go back and start the process and all of that kind of stuff. But the first thing she said that I remember till this day was, I don't want nobody negative around me. Period. Nobody. I don't care who it is. I don't want nobody negative around me. And I'm going somewhere. That's what she said. That was her words. So she went through all of this stuff. So at this point, I'm like, Ma, I'm not going back to California. I'm staying here. I'll call them and tell them to come back, or we'll work it out however, but I'm not going. She told me that you're supposed to be with your family. Go be with your family. She was adamant about it. Anyway, I'm saying all of that to say that she went through everything that she had to go through. It took a while, but she went through all of that. What they call it, chemo and radiation, all of that. She went through all of that. And after she came out of that, and my mother just turned 80. So this was a good while back. And she's been cancer free ever since. I say that to say that God will use certain situations to show somebody else who He is and what He can do. Right? Crazy part about that situation, she asked for that. She didn't say, Lord, give me cancer, obviously, but she asked to be a living testimony. And guess what she is right now? A living testimony. Now, could I have done that? I ain't gonna even, don't even ask me nothing like that, because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we started talking about patience, and it all ties in together. Patience, faith, all of that. Because you got to have faith in order to have patience. You got to know that it's going to happen. You got to know that if you believe in God, God is in control. You got to know that this is going to work out. You got to know that. My biggest thing is traffic. I hate traffic. I get road rage, not enough to be jumping out of the cars, fighting and shooting at people and all of that. But it gets pretty serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm cussing, I'm fussing, I don't have patience for nothing. Like I said in the beginning, if I can't have it now, I don't want it. If you need to get out the way, why is you driving like this? Just move, just get over that. You know what I'm saying? It's bad. But at the same time, I go through all of that, and I know I do, because God is trying to teach me something. And until I learn the lesson in that, every time I get on the road, somebody gonna be in the way. Every time I get on the road, somebody gonna be going super slow. Every time I get on the road, somebody gonna be doing something stupid. It's just what it is. It's gonna happen. Cause guess what? They don't even know why they're doing half of the time. They're not even thinking about me. They don't even know who I am. They don't even know that bothers me. But that's why I go through what I go through. And again, I don't pray for patience anymore. But I did before. And so even though that was years ago, this is still an answer to my prayer. Because you asked for patience, bro. So now you're going to have to get. And thank God that we have Jesus. Because the God in the Old Testament, ask Saul about God in the Old Testament. God told Saul to kill, what are they? Amalekite, whatever they, y'all know. If you know the Bible, you know. And I don't know the Bible that well like that, but I know what I know of it. But he told Saul to kill all the, I think it was Amalekites, if that's the name, or Amalekites, however you say it, y'all know. But anyway, he told him to kill all of them. That's the God. That's the same God that we serve right now. Told him to kill everybody, and he didn't. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he saved some people to be slaves or saved somebody to do something. And God was just like we are. Didn't I tell you everything and everybody? Okay, I'll tell you what. Since you didn't do what I asked you to do, now you got to deal with this. You understand? So that's why he had to deal with what he had to deal with. And eventually, if I'm not mistaken, died or whatever the situation was. You understand what I'm saying? Thank God we don't have to deal with that. And just like the Sodom and Gomorrah story, where she looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. If I tell you go, and you go. If I tell you go and you look back, that's on you. You feel me? But not to get off subject, I'm just saying, thank God that we don't have to deal with it like that. And the reason I mention that is because of what I said in the beginning, how sometimes we'll ask God, Lord, why are you doing this to me? Or why are you doing that to me? Bruh, if you was in the Old Testament, then you be asking, Lord, why are you doing this to me? Or Lord, why have thou forsaken? You know what I'm saying? And I'm making jokes about it, but it's real life. You know, if you believe in that, I believe in it. So it ain't no ifs, ands, and buts for me. And for the people that do believe it. So if you don't believe it, then this ain't for you. But all I'm saying is, if we was back in them New Old Testament days, we would really be asking, Lord, why are you doing this to me? But now, you understand what I'm saying? Now, we don't have to ask that question. We could ask, why are you allowing it? And that don't mean he gonna answer you and tell you. But 9 times out of 10, you know why anyway, because it's something inside of you that needs to come out, or it's something inside of you that you need to deal with. Or it's something inside of you that you don't want to deal with, but I'm going to make you deal with it. That's the bottom line. But again, patience, that's a big, big word. That's a huge word for me. You know what I'm saying? And every day of my life, I'm working on it. I struggle with it. I ain't going to even say just working on it. I struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me you're going to do something for me and then take a year to do it. Don't tell me you're going to do something for me and don't do it. Don't tell me you're going to do something. Just don't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like, I don't want to wait on it. I don't want, that's a whole nother part of my personality with trust issues and everything else. That's why I don't ask people for nothing. But moving past that, don't I'm supposed to stop saying what I don't have and speak it into existence. But I'm saying, as of this day, I'm trying to have patience, but mostly everything that I have to wait for frustrates me. Let's just say that. But the other side of it is that we gotta pray and ask God to help us through those things and through those times. The biggest thing for my wife right now, and I know I talk about my wife a lot because is my wife, and that's my best friend, and that's my confidant, and that's she's everything to me. My accountant, my counselor, everything. Because I'm introverted, and I don't deal with a lot of people, and I don't trust a lot of people, and it's in the house. It's just me and her. It's us. It's always, everything is us. So anyway, that's why I talk about my wife so much. And on the fact that I love her and she's my friend and all of that. But her biggest worry about me is that I'm going to blow a gasket. She always said that. Man, why you get so upset? Why you get so mad? I just don't want you to blow a gasket. Because trust me when I tell you, as nice as I might seem, and happy-go-lucky and laughing and smiling all the time, bruh, that other side is twice as bad as the good. You know how they say a person is real this and real that, but when you see him, that other side of him, I don't like that other side. But it just, once I'm triggered, I'm triggered. But I'm not trying to tell y'all about me all the time. I'm just trying to say how I live and how I think and how I move. And with this part of what I'm talking about is how it's so bad, how my anger gets so bad about stuff that I need to have patience with, and how it looks to her. And I'm sure to other people that's ever seen me get that way. Because it's 0 to 100. Ain't no in between. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like to get that way. Excuse me, but for some odd reason, I'm always there. And it's not an odd reason. I know what the reason is. I need to learn a lesson, and I need to learn not to get triggered, and I need to learn not to get so mad and frustrated, and I need to learn that life ain't perfect. Life don't work the way you think it's supposed to work. Life is always different, and you have to be prepared for that. And you have to know how to move when things not working out. You see? So that's where patience and faith and all of that other stuff plays in and plays a part of everything that I'm saying. Even though it might sound like I'm rambling right now, everything that I've said was actually about patience and faith, which they both go hand in hand, because you got to have faith in order to have patience. And I'm not going to even stunt. Sometimes my faith is weak. Sometimes my faith ain't there. I'm not going to even lie about that. And for anybody who don't know me, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a deacon. Like I say all the time, I grew up singing in church, but I'm not none of that. So don't come for me like, oh, he a whole preacher and he cussing folks out, or he a whole preacher, he ain't got no patience. I ain't none of that. Trust me when I tell you. But I'm just a regular person that need to learn not to get so frustrated when life don't go the way I think it should go. Hence, I need to learn how to have patience and faith that it's going to work out regardless. Right? So that's pretty much it. I feel like I've been rambling the whole time, so I hope I touched on everything. If not, I'll make another video. Or if you have questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll answer them. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Help a brother out. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video if you like this kind of content. And for those of you who do watch and like and comment and all that, I really do appreciate that. And I just want to say thank y'all. I see the comments. I try my best to answer them all back unless I don't see them. And so with all of that being said, again, I appreciate y'all. And so y'all be easy, and I'll see you in the next one. One love.